Yeah, I did have an edible before I wrote this, but
that tracks. That makes sense. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So first, let me ask. It's been a while since we all know you from The Room, and there's that was quite a while ago. What, 15 years basically we're talking about?
Yeah, 15 years ago to the day. I think a few days ago was like the 15-year anniversary.
Wow, that's amazing. So there's been you had kind of a gap there. So talk about your gap years between when The Room finished and became sort of a thing, and what was the lead up to sort of coming back to this.
Okay, so The Room premieres June 27, 2003. I mean, I kind of knew what was going to happen. I showed my family some clips and stuff, and my mom was like, "Oh dear God." I never thought anybody would see it, because if they did, I said those sex scenes, there's no way they'd get through this movie. So Tommy hired a publicist to fill the theater for the premiere for people that thought they were going to see the next Streetcar Named Desire. So you had all these people that thought they were going to watch like some cool, interesting film, and then the logos come on and people start laughing, and as soon as he opens his mouth and says, "Hi babe," people are dying. So I was sitting in the 5th row when I left, and I went into the lobby, and people started walking out. These 2 guys walked out, and one of the guys looked at his buddies and said, "You know what, I'll never get hard again." And so at that point I was like, okay, we're in trouble. This movie's never going to go anywhere, which was pretty much kind of what happened, except there were these film students that discovered The Room and started like saving it. They invited all their friends to like see it. They started throwing spoons at the screen. So it became like this LA cult film that hung around for a few years. Now in the meantime, I was living in Europe. I was modeling, doing other things, and then it was like 5 years later, I get a call from a reporter at Entertainment Weekly that said, "I just saw this movie in LA with 35 people throwing spoons at the screen, shouting through the entire movie, and I have to write about it." So we wrote this article that talked about the celebrity fans, that it was being studied in universities, and that's when everything kind of started. So this was like 2009. And I was like, well, what do you do with this movie? I mean, it's not going to get you acting work, right? But it's like, it's cool people were seeing it. And so I get all these questions like, why did you make this movie? Why was there a billboard up for 5 years?
I used to live in LA, and I used to drive by that billboard all the time, and just, what the fuck is that thing? Nobody has a billboard up for 5 years for a thing that's real. I was like, what's an ancient thing that just got left here?
There's like a phone number on the billboard, and if you called the billboard, Tommy would answer. And it said only in theaters, but it was like, anyway, it was really, really bizarre. So I would tell people stories from making the movie, moving to LA, being roommates with Tommy, and they were like, dude, this is a story. You got to write a book about this. And I was like, well, at the time, I was like, who's going to read it? And then people started seeing the movie, and that's when I came up with the idea to write The Disaster Artist. But my goal with The Disaster Artist was for the story to become its own movie, because I thought, what a great challenge to take a movie that's considered the worst movie ever, write a story about that, and have that become a great movie. People thought it was a little delusional. But sure, you're stepping into Tommy land, because Tommy wanted to win an Oscar. So I started writing the book. I had all the behind-the-scenes footage that I kept from the making of The Room. I don't know why I kept it, but it really came in handy. You guys are going to see a little documentary before The Room what it was like to be on set. And so I wrote the book. About 3 weeks after the book came out, I got a call from James Franco, who was reading the book. He had never seen The Room before, but he said this was the most insane Hollywood story. He knew he wanted to play Tommy. He knew he wanted his brother to play me. So we had this conference call with Tommy. And Tommy was like, well, who played me? Johnny Depp. And then James kind of laughed, and Tommy's like, why you laugh? You don't go down this road, you don't know. And I was like trying to save the meeting, so I'm like, James, what about, maybe you can play Tommy. He's like, yeah, James, pretty good choice. You do some good stuff, some bad stuff. You know, that's the story. What can you do? So we ended up it was an insane process. Tommy wouldn't want to be part of the movie unless he had a cameo opposite James for like 40 seconds. It was just all this crazy stuff. But anyway, the movie got made. It was incredible. I got to see a rough cut of it a couple of years ago. I visited the set. And something about that whole experience made me think, you know what? After writing The Disaster Artist and kind of getting a feel of what it's like to make a movie, write a book, kind of complete a project, I thought maybe I could come up with something and create a role for Tommy that he could actually succeed in, like a part that he fits. Because in The Room, he plays a banker who's going to try to get his promotion. Like nobody really believes that guy's an investment banker. So I was like, a mortician, that could work.
That makes sense.
And so I wrote the script like in 4 days. I was inspired by this. It was inspired by a road trip that I took with Tommy up the California coast, in which he thought I was taking him up to this place to try to kill him. And I wasn't. But I got intrigued by that idea, and so that's how I started writing the script. And then I pitched it to him, and he's like, I thought he was going to say, like, no, but he's like, sure, sounds like a good idea, but I have one request. Okay, may I have one request? Yes, I'm entitled. Okay. Why aren't you and I the same height in the movie?
And so the shoes.
Yeah, and I was like, sure, I have no idea why you want that, but we can do it. So he went and had these shoes made, and we were in business.
So you say it says, based on actual events. So that's the road trip there. Where did the gold teeth part of it come
That's
from?
the other part of the true events. I mean, that's how Tommy got his money to make The Room. No, I'm just kidding. So my brother's a dentist, and he started telling me these stories about these other dentists that were selling their dental scrap, making more money doing that than actual dentistry, and this whole business was going on. They were shipping in teeth from like Greece, and so all the teeth that you saw in the movie were real teeth.
Really?
So it makes it even more charming, I'm sure. But yeah, so he told me about this whole business. So I did all this research. It's true. It's because the price of gold and silver now is worth so much money that it's you can make good money doing it. So I figured if Tommy's character is like around 94 and he's been working for like 7 decades, he would have around $2 million in his scrap.
Yeah, that makes sense. Talk to me about the masks. Like, is that actually a mask of your face?
Yeah, we had this dude actually make a mask, and it was like the most claustrophobic experience I've ever had. You're sitting there for 2 hours, you can't open your eyes, shit's all like stuck there. And then once Tommy saw that, he's like, well, I want to do a mask of me too.
Please tell me there's a Tommy mask out there somewhere.
We unfortunately didn't get to that point, but yeah, so his character is affected. He was in love, I don't know for you true crime readers out there, but he was in love with the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
Yes, what's on the record?
Good thinking. So anyway, he was very much affected by her murder, and so that's why he went in to do this. So.
One of the things I'm curious about is, having seen The Disaster Artist, read the book, the thing that's so crazy about that, aside from the end result of The Room, is the process of it. Like this, Tommy showing up 4 hours late all the time and not being able to remember his lines or deliver his lines, and you're working in this little cramped studio and whatnot. How does that, are there lessons that you sort of took from that you sort of brought into this? Because I think there's something interesting about you're in a situation like that where there's this, everything's so insane, but that sort of manic energy can kind of translate into the work, So is there an element, like in the book you say, it felt like you guys had chemistry sets and Tommy was lighting the lab on fire. So was there, is there still some of that energy here, or did it feel much more controlled, much more restrained?
I mean, there's always a little bit of that energy. Like, the weirdest moment I've ever experienced on any movie set was in this film when Tommy got choked by the clown. Because the dude straight up, started choking him violently, and Tommy was like, cut! And then he, jumps up and he starts yelling at the clown, do you know anything about acting? And I was watching him argue with the clown about acting. was insane. So, but other than that, this was a lot more fun to make. I think having Tommy just show up as an actor, play this part, and have everybody else there was a small crew that was just focused on getting the best they could and making it work. It was a lot more focused and a lot more enjoyable.
I'm going to turn it over to these guys in a minute, but I'm curious, you did a music video with Ali Gertz a couple years ago for our groups, the Room song, which, if you guys haven't seen this, you got to go see it. You can look on YouTube, Ali Gertz leaving the Room song, Greg's in the video, and it's fucking fabulous. And it's also a catchy song that will stay in your head for days. Is there other fun, weird, side projects, people have come and said, oh, I love you from the Room, will you do this thing?
Yeah, there's always stuff like that. A lot of it's recently it's been animation.
Oh yeah.
They want us to do a Tommy and Greg animated show like Rick and Morty. That would be cool. There's been an interest in doing a Broadway musical. So we'll see. We got Best Friends Volume 1, Volume 2, and then who knows what the hell is next.
Fantastic. All right. Well, you guys must have some questions out there. Hugh, we got people with mics, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So there's somebody upstairs and there's somebody downstairs with the microphone. Just stick your hand up, and we'll bring a mic to you. Looks like we got one downstairs.
Stand up.
Yeah, just stand up and maybe say your name and your question.
Oh, hi, Greg. My name's Adam. Nice to meet you. Checks the film. Clearly, you get a kick out of Tommy, as we all do, and I love the book. But I've got to ask you, as an actor, how do you keep a straight face when you're doing a scene with him?
I saw you crack once in one scene. I saw you laugh. It made you laugh.
It was really tough, especially in the scene with the clown when he says he put candle in his ass. It was really difficult, and I think it's just a matter. There's so much going on. I just think about the worst possible thing that could happen, and it allows me to kind of stay focused and not laugh. I don't know how I do it, but I do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a mirror right behind me where you can see me laugh. But yeah, I mean, it's not easy. Takes a few takes, obviously.
I'm curious, kind of coming off of that. You said Tommy obviously has trouble remembering his lines and whatnot. So is there an element of Tommy improvisation that we're seeing in the movie at all?
He stuck to the script for the most part, or at least what the script was trying to say. But there was a time when he completely went in his own element when it involved the Chinese food scene.
Yes.
That was, I don't know what he was going on there, what he was trying to say, but yeah, that wasn't scripted.
Is there an upstairs question? Yeah.
Yeah,
who's got the microphone? You got the microphone. There you go. No, she's got the microphone, so you'll be next. Go ahead.
Kia ora, welcome to New Zealand. Thanks for coming down. Hey, you got some history in film. How on earth did you get through casting for this thing?
Casting for this movie?
Yeah.
I just cast pretty much my friends. The female lead, Kristen, she'd never seen The Room before, so she showed up at the morgue set, and I had scratches on my face, and Tommy was giving her dirty looks, and she was I don't think I really want to be a part of this. And then I said The Room is this thing. She had no idea what I was talking about, and then she looked it up, and then she wrote to me. She's like, not to be blunt, but is this a porno? And I said, there's actually not even a kissing scene or like not even a sex scene, or barely a kissing scene in the whole movie. So she's told me, she's like, I don't know why I said yes, but the scene in which she meets Tommy for the first time was so genuine. I feel like that's how a lot of people would be. And so I thought it was good to cast somebody who had no idea what they were getting themselves into. But she did end up seeing The Room recently, I think, and said, so you were in a porno. Yeah, the casting, again, it was easier to cast people that I knew, that had the right dynamic working opposite Tommy.
Okay, so we got a downstairs question? Somebody downstairs? Yeah, you go right in the middle here.
Hi. When this becomes a cult underground classic, would you prefer that we throw lemons or teeth or both?
I think plastic gold teeth. It would be like painful when you're still.
Like little vampire teeth, maybe?
Did you guys catch the vampire blood? Okay. Maybe Johnny is vampire.
Maybe he's vampire. Upstairs? You got a question upstairs?
Okay, hey. What a cool movie. Quickly, I've read
Ooh.
book
Hold on, sorry.
Severed
Yeah.
about like Dahlia. So my friend and Chelsea and I were like, Black Dahlia reference. But my question is, do you think that I don't understand why everyone's laughing.
Is there a question, guy?
Walk this way. Okay, so my question is like, do you reckon that your movie is like a modern day film noir? And this is the reason why you reference Sunset Boulevard.
Do you believe your film is a modern day noir? I believe was the question.
Yeah, because
that was the goal.
Alright, awesome! Downstairs! Who's got a downstairs question? Alright, what do we got downstairs? Yeah. Hold on a second, we're gonna mic problem. What is Tommy's backstory? That was the question.
How did he
There you go.
money come from?
What is his backstory? He used to live in a castle in Transylvania. And he sold tons and tons of Levi's jeans, and also he told me yo-yos to make all of his money. He said, I do with bags of money every night, yo-yos sell pretty well.
That's good. How about, let's go back upstairs. You got an upstairs question up there? Alright, how about a downstairs question? Oh, we got one? Alright, go ahead.
Okay. Just at the time of The Room, you were an aspiring actor, sort of trying to make your way in, and now after all this time, I suppose you've essentially made it in this weird roundabout way. How do you feel about kind of your current situation in terms of your career, and will it ever be sort of something you'll...
What was the last part of that?
Will you ever try and like move out of the whole vein of The Room and Tommy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was interesting to be in a movie that I didn't think anybody was going to see, and then it ends up becoming an international cult movie that people love and still show up to. So I'm definitely really grateful that it gave me that chance, because without that I wouldn't have ever been able to write the book. And like everybody's goal as an actor is to someday, obviously be part of a project that would end up, at the Golden Globes or the Oscars or something like that. So it's amazing that this happened in this way. And so for me now, it's like making these two movies. I feel like with The Room, I knew Tommy and I had more to offer than just that. So I feel like making, these other movies you're doing something different, I think is a good step before moving on and trying to do something entirely different outside of this world. Because the next thing I would do is I want to make a horror film and just try something, totally different. So I think it's just about taking steps. I think you can't jump out of the room too quickly because people are like, what, it's a terrible movie, and then what's this? So you got to kind of lead them out in a way that's a little bit more profound. So I think that's what my strategy is.
You got a downstairs question? Yeah, now we're cooking.
Just when you upstairs as well, if you could just stand up and maybe come to the front. I think the receiver was just struggling to...
Oh, catching people in the back, yeah, so maybe just come to the front when you can.
Oh, hi, Mark. I have one question, and it was, what kind of drugs?
Damn right. It was the blue meth. Walter White and Denny, man. Denny was Jesse Pinkman before Jesse Pinkman. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Striking resemblance, I thought. Yeah. All right. How about upstairs?
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
sorry, I just got cut off earlier, but I was just wondering.
And you're cut off again. No, seriously, we got a lot of other people.
I feel like this is something that I was curious about after watching this movie, like the reference to Sunset Boulevard. Like, why did you choose to watch Sunset Boulevard on your date with Tracy as opposed to any other film or modern film? And she said that she loved black and white pictures, and then in Sunset Boulevard, the main protagonist dies in the pool, and this is what happened to Tommy.
I can't really comprehend what you're saying, but I do love the way you're saying Sunset Boulevard. If I was doing hosting a show, I would hire you to say Sunset Boulevard. Because it's my favorite movie, that's why I put it in there.
Oh, it's been my favorite movie.
Alright, cool.
That's really cool that you decided to include it.
Seriously,
Okay.
stop talking because other people need to ask questions. Go ahead.
Hi. Have you heard of the conspiracy theory that Tommy Wiseau is Daniel B. Cooper?
I was just
Did
going
I
to
reference
ask that.
Did you catch that part? He said, what are you, D.B. Cooper?
Yes.
What were you doing, sleeping?
Throwing haymakers.
You have to watch next time.
This is deeper readings, yeah. Alright, let's get one more upstairs. Yeah, alright, here we go.
Hello, it's Kermit. How are you? Look, hey, I just want to know a little bit about the second part.
Oh, you want to know about volume 2?
Yes. I just wanted to know if you could let us know a little bit more about what was going to happen, or
Yeah, what can we expect?
Well, I won't. D.B. Cooper is not in this next one. So I'll put it this way. If Volume 1, the inspiration was Nightcrawler and Double Indemnity. Part 2... This D.B. Cooper's going too far. The next one would be Breaking Bad meets Psycho, sprinkled in with a little bit of Fight Club.
Yes. I'm into that.
And Paul Scheer is in part 2.
Yeah. Alright, I think we'll do another one downstairs.
Okay, hello.
Hello?
My name's Jason. I wanted to ask what dreams came true for you during the room, and what dreams came true after the room and because of the room.
I think that the room was... no dreams came true making the room.
A few nightmares, maybe.
But the room was like kind of the foundation to build off of everything. Because even though it's a really bad movie, it was still something that kind of got things going. So for me, it kind of gave me a chance to be able, storytelling was my first love. I saw the movie Home Alone when I was 12. I wrote a screenplay sequel for myself opposite Macaulay Culkin. And I sent it to John Hughes, and I got a letter. So that's really the first time I really wanted to, like, you know, make movies. So so it allowed me to write The Disaster Artist, which was an incredible experience, for that to get me into a film. And then, as a few weeks ago, I got to sit down with Macaulay Culkin on his podcast and talk about the whole story. So like, so many dreams came true in ways that, like, were launched by The Room, but it goes to show you need to have, like, a positive outlook and believe that anything is possible, even in the midst of things that are really negative, because anybody could have seen The Room and been like, this is a shit film, I want nothing to do with it, I'm gonna, like, run away from it. But I thought, you know what, embrace it and make the most of it. So, you know, being in The Room taught me that lesson.
Fantastic. Alright, so we got time for just a few more questions. So that one was downstairs, so let's do an upstairs question. Yeah, go for it.
Hi. I absolutely loved your book, by the way. It made me laugh so hard. I just wondered if Tommy Wiseau thought you were going to kill him. I often notice that people who accuse people of things so do you suspect that perhaps he was actually trying to kill you? And what an amazing docuseries that would be.
Well, my wife is in the audience, and she's much smarter than me, and she texted me a question and said, why did Tommy think you wanted to kill him?
I mean, you're onto something. My mom used to always say that. It's really random. So we're driving up the California coast. It's windy. It's late at night. I don't feel like driving back. And there's like this one motel in the middle of nowhere. There's one room left, and Tommy, like, literally looked like he had been doing drugs for 64 hours. So I thought, why don't you maybe stay here? I'll go get the room, and you can, like, I'll let you know if I get it. You meet me around back, so this guy doesn't have to see you.
Smart. It's smart.
So he thought I was doing that because I was, like, trying to have him not be seen by this guy or the cameras, because I was gonna, like, kill him when we got into the room, and then there'd be no evidence. But really, I just wanted to go to bed. And so he thought that was the plan. So that night he went to bed, said he was praying to God to protect him. It's really that simple.
Amazing. Downstairs. You got me in the back there.
What did Tommy have to say about the finished product? And can we have it verbatim?
What did he say about the movie?
Yeah.
He likes the movie. He doesn't like that his shoes are shown. That was like his big complaint, I guess. But other than that, I think he gave it like a 90% or something. He said you did a very good job. And that's all I really need to hear. Because if you get the shorter answer, the better from Tommy.
All right. We got two more. Two more. All right. So one from upstairs and one from downstairs. Let's make them good ones. Go for it.
On the screen, something we hear a lot about is the drives and, like, long car rides you have with Tommy. What do you talk about when you sit with him?
That's a good one.
I mean, there's always something to talk about. I mean, she just will ramble on about anything and everything. There's never really a boring moment. I mean, I can even relive conversations, and they're still entertaining. So it's not anything particular. Like, I don't ask him his political views or like what kind of sports he likes. It's just kind of just rambling and just kind of letting it go.
So he is like the same person off screen as he is anywhere else?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought with this movie. Is like, let's try to capture him as true to how he is. Like, I feel like other commercials or films have tried to kind of change him to be like this circus animal caricature of Tommy, but I was like, just let him be earnest and be who he is. I feel like that's way more interesting to capture. That's what I tried to do with this part.
And also very sweet in a way. I mean, I think that's one of the things that kind of comes through in this and in the book as well. And you know, I think one of the things that Disaster Artist, the film, very smartly latched onto is this idea of, like, you know, that you guys are friends, you know, and that even though there's a lot of baggage that comes with that friendship, and it's not an easy friendship, but, you know, you guys genuinely care about each other, and you had these sort of similar goals that drove you, and I think that a lot of that comes through in the work.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, one more from downstairs. Hugh's got it.
Hi, on the original set of The Room, when I first watched it, I was sort of taken aback by the length of the sex scene.
I think we all were.
And I was just wondering, was that a shortened version, or how many minutes Tommy spent trying to film that scene?
There was a lot of footage. And that was the shorter version. I think the first version was like 6.5 minutes.
And your mom watched this.
That poor belly button. But I feel like if you cut out the sex scenes in the movie's only like 29 minutes long. You kind of need them, unfortunately. But,
all right, cool. Well, let me just, I'm sure we've got some aspiring filmmakers out here. So, you've been through the worst of it. You've been through, the better of it. Is there any advice, any words of wisdom you want to give to the...
Yeah, I think for me, what I've learned through these 20 years being on this journey is that go do it. Don't wait for your phone to ring. In my experience, anytime I've tried to do it the traditional way, which is through an agent, auditioning, for me, like everybody has their own path, but for me, like it didn't really work for me. So I could have just done that, given up. But what I've learned is like go out. If you have a vision, go out and do it, because you never know what might happen. Team up with people who have the same goal, maybe a sound guy or cameraman or something. If you want to be an actor, writer, get together, get a group together, go make something. It doesn't have to be, see it as a learning process. I think a lot of times we want to like get there right away and make a masterpiece right away. And sometimes it happens for some people, but I think getting together, make something, a short film, just feeling that sense of like completing something is a very powerful thing. And I know for me, like I waited so long to just have a shot to like have my own thing. When I got the book, like I put everything I had into it, and it was something that people responded to. So I think we all have something inside us that's special that we can give a message. And I think if you want to do it, go out and do it, and don't let anybody tell you you can't.
Yeah. Great Sestero, ladies and gentlemen. So, as I said, Rick, we're going to take a little break. We're going to play this little behind-the-scenes documentary. You're going to see some great footage. If anyone who's read the book and you know about Tommy's Shakespeare commercial that he made, that's in here. It's amazing. If you would like to come down, you can grab books and posters he's going to sign. If you don't have cash, again, you go out to the candy bar and you can pay for it with F-Post and just save your receipt and bring it back down. Before you go, I just want to say this is the last event here at the Hollywood before the New Zealand International Film Festival. So that's coming starting July 20th. We will be another venue for the festival as we were last year. So there's going to be lots of amazing stuff showing. The schedule